Joining me now is Ukraine MP Alexei Goncharenko. Welcome to the programme. First of all, we're hearing reports this morning that your president is asking for a sped-up accession into the European Union. Is that a call that you would support?
Yes, absolutely. And I've heard a little piece of discussion your previous, and I just want to say several words. I will be very calm. I just want to tell again what is very important, how Russia is protecting its security, just killing our children. We have 16 children killed. We have more than 350 adults killed. We have millions of people hiding in shelters and in metro, like in London in 1940. So that's probably Hitler also thought that he was struggling for his security, bombing London, killing Englishmen there at that time. Probably he was looking for security of the Third Reich in France, in Belgium, in Poland, in Ukraine. That's the story, because Putin is a Hitler of 21st century. And I know that even at that time there were some strange people who said, oh, he has the right to kill other people. But I don't accept that somebody has this right. We are not invading to anybody, we are not aggressors to anybody, but we will kill them. They came to our land and we will kill them in thousands, and we are doing this right now. Thousands of them are dead because they came to us, to our home, to kill us, and we will not gonna give them this possibility. About your question about European Union, that's the future of our country. I'm sure that everybody now in Europe understands that in reality, Europe cannot be safe without safe Ukraine. That's clear. Just to see that where our territory is bombed, we have nuclear power stations. Is it safe for the world? Just from the point of ecology, we have chemical factories, pipelines. And secondly, millions of refugees. Where will they go if their houses will be bombed and destroyed by Russian aggressor? And thirdly, and the most important, if somebody thinks that aggressor will stop on Ukraine, that's a huge mistake. In 1938, Europe made this mistake and tried to appease aggressor. And how it ended all? It ended with a bigger war, because such peace is false peace. We need to stop aggressor, and to take Ukraine in European Union, it means to make European Union stronger, because our army is the strongest army in Europe. Everybody sees this now. And it will make certainly the whole world safer place, because we are not going to invade to anybody, but we will protect ourselves, and Ukraine will protect Europe like we do now.
And can I just thank you for your words that you started this conversation with? I have to say that the vast majority of people in the United Kingdom certainly, but also by the looks in Europe and in the United States stand solidly behind you and your cause. Joining the European Union is something that can't happen in short order, and currently in the next days and weeks there are real issues and decisions to be dealt with. What more would you like to see the United Kingdom in particular do in the next days and weeks that might be of assistance?
Thank you very much for your question. Yes, what we need now we need a non-fly zone over Ukraine. Because we are not looking for boots on our ground. We are ready to fight ourselves. And we don't ask British people, American people to fight for us. But we ask you to help us to protect the skies, because the Russians are using aircrafts and missiles to hit residential houses, kindergartens, hospitals, schools. Just this night they destroyed a museum with Maria Primachenko, which is one of the best in the world primitivists. And a number of her paintings are lost for the culture of the whole world, and so on and so on. So they are making a genocide, real genocide, in the middle of Europe in the 21st century. So please help us, and I address to British politicians and to British society and those who listen to us, to push their politicians to make this decision to help us to protect the skies. That's important. And secondly, sanctions. It's ban on Russian energy. That will end this war very quickly. if there will be embargo on Russian oil and gas, because Russian oil and gas is now bloody gas, bloody oil, because it's full of Ukrainian blood. Now, that will stop war very quickly, because what is Russia? Russia is a very big gas station, that's all. That's all. 2/3 of their export is oil and gas. Without this, the economy will stop, and Putin will need to go to peace talk. We want only peace. We don't want to take Moscow. We don't want their land. We just want them to go out from our country. That's what we want.
And it's your assessment, then, that were we to have a Europe-wide or a Western-wide embargo against Russian energy, that could precipitate the fall of Mr. Putin?
Yes, that will stop him, because he will not have a possibility to afford this aggression anymore. I spoke this night, Ukrainian night, it was time in Ukraine, with 6 or 7 prominent Republican congressmen, special conference in Zoom, and I said this to them. I spoke with the members of House of Commons and House of Lords, because I have many friends among them, and including I'm a member of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, and including UK leader of delegation to the PACE, John Howell, Ian Liddell-Granger, who is head of European Conservative Group, and I asked their help. So I address this to all my colleagues with whom I am working, and certainly I address it to public, to society. We need to do it together. Let's show that free world is strong enough. Because after Afghanistan, it seems to me that some dictators decided that free world is not so strong, it is weak, and they can do whatever they want. And that is a huge challenge for the world. We need to show them now that free world can unite and can be strong enough, and that will end the crisis. In other case, we will have only bigger and bigger and bigger crisis, and more and more and more dangerous.
I noticed that behind you there's a guy, I believe that's an AK-47 sitting on your shelf.
Absolutely, shot one, yes.
Are you personally ready to get there out on the streets and fight the Russian invaders?
Yes, that's my personal. I'm not military man. I have very little military experience, but I'm in the center of Kiev, and I'm in the battalion of territorial defense. And if Russian occupants will enter the city, here there will be a hell for them, and I will be a part of this hell.
Can you give us a sense of what is going on right now in the center of Kiev? Can you hear the Russian bombs coming down? How close have they got to you this moment?
This night was probably the calmest from the beginning, because we are really winning them. And they tried to take Kiev, Putin said, in 2 days. Then by the way, his puppet regime in Belarus, Lukashenko, just for understanding, again, that they will not stop, they would not never stop on Ukraine. He said, when we will start the war, it was several days before the war, we will take Ukraine in hours, and in 3 days we will be at La Manche. So for your understanding, where they extend their ambitions. So as you see, they're not at La Manche, but there are thousands in hell already, and they couldn't even to get to Kiev. So this night was probably the calmest one, because last night they entered a little bit Kiev and they were destroyed on the streets of Kiev. This night they couldn't enter at all. So, but there was air attacks, and there was the Syrians, and people were running to shelters. But this became, our routine. But there are no fightings on the streets, and the city is completely safe. And today there is an end of curfew. There was a curfew in the city for the last 2 days, but now people can go to the streets and can move around. So we have situation under control.
Now, we've been hearing in the UK that some former servicemen from this country may be going across to help out in Ukraine. The Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss, appeared to endorse that yesterday, although there's been a little bit more confusion this morning. What would be your message to former members of the British Armed Forces? Should they go and help?
Thank you very much. If you have such a desire, that's a great thing. We're really struggling here for us, for you, for our freedom, for your freedom, for our values, for your values, because we share common values. We will be happy to fight with you shoulder to shoulder. So if you have such possibility, join us. And that will be an honor for us to be fighting together with you. Let's make our page in history. Let's write this page in history. Stop this brutal war and stop this mad Hitler of 21st century, Putin.
Well, Alexei Goncharenko, thank you very much for your perspective.
Thank you. Thank you.
And stay safe in the middle of Kiev, and good luck.
Will do.
Your fight.